Hey everyone, Chelsea Zilkowski from Level 10 Fitness Regina here. For your educational series this week, we are going to be doing a warm-up. So for this, I find it really important to kind of cover. I feel like sometimes we get a little complacent with our warm-up or cool down. Either it's time related or we're not sure what we're doing, or we just kind of want to jump right into that workout. Sometimes that can be a little bit detrimental to our performance, and it will cause injury as well. So it is really important for athletes and individuals to warm up before a workout and competition. A well-designed warm-up can mentally and physically prepare athletes for the demands of training and performance. It's going to do this by increasing that blood flow to the active muscles that we're going to be working, raise that core body temperature, enhance metabolic reactions, and improve joint range of motion. Okay, so that's just a few things that it's going to do amongst many. In turn, this is going to enhance oxygen delivery, increase the speed of nerve impulse transmissions, improve rate of force development, and maximize that strength and power. So once again, just a few things that our warm-up is going to do for us, okay? So with this, I've kind of developed just a little bit of explanation of what we can do moving forward and why we kind of warm up. Unlike traditional warm-up protocols, a dynamic warm-up can result in noticeable improvements in fundamental movement skills. It also prepares the body for vigorous, random kind of movements that you might have during competition or your training at the gym. So going forward, you guys can kind of start, you can either just do like a run for 5 minutes, taking it nice and light, like you're not going 100% by any means. We just want to get that blood flowing, get that heart rate up, and then kind of get things moving type thing. So going forward with that, a warm-up will set the tone for upcoming activities and will reduce the risk of injury. So after you've done kind of your 5-minute run, which you can do a run, you can do a ladder, you can row, you can do some circuits or some intervals there. In the post beside, I've also highlighted a few and just listed some out for you guys to kind of go through for a warm-up. But mainly when we do that warm-up, it should mimic kind of what we're doing later on in our strength or power, depending on what we're doing later on in the workout. So say I'm doing a lot of chest, I might want to start and do some push-ups just to activate, maybe an inchworm walkout. If I'm doing a lot of glutes, I might use mini bands to kind of get that activation going. But at the end of the day, it is your warm-up, so you want to take it kind of lighter. You don't want to go super, super hard, okay? So going through, say I've done my warm-up already, I've done my ladder, okay, I've done my run, whatever it is, I've done my activation. Now I want to go through my dynamic stretch. So going through your dynamic stretch, you guys want to make sure, once again, it is dynamic, so not static. So we don't want to be holding those muscles for too long, or those stretches, sorry, for too long as we move through. And we want to make sure we target the entire body as well, especially if we're doing a full body workout. Then yes, let's make sure that we get those glutes, we get those hamstrings, quads, sorry. Get those quads, get those glutes, get those hamstrings kind of firing and ready. So I'm going to take you guys through kind of a traditional dynamic stretch that I have done with a lot of my classes and that we do here at Level 10. So the first things first, I want to target those hamstrings. So I want to start with a floor sweep. So with this one, my leg is going to be nice and straight. I want to hinge from those hips, toes pointed up, and then I'm going to come down and sweep the floor. You want to try to maintain a relatively flat back as you do this, and then push those hips back. So I should already feel that stretch as I push my hips back. So the leg I'm stretching is going to be straight. My opposite leg could be a little bit bent, but once again, I'm pushing those hips back, and then from there, I can alternate those legs. And let's do about 5 a side with that hamstring stretch. From there, I want to move to the front to that quad. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to go same arm, same leg. I'm going to press my hip forward, engage that glute to get just a little bit more of a stretch on the front side of that leg, a little bit into that hip flexor as well. Once again, you don't want to hold these for too long, okay, just a second or two as you come through, and you do want to make it dynamic. I am standing on the spot just in purpose of the screen so you guys can see me and I'm not leaving back and forth, but you guys will make it dynamic. So there should be a step or a little bit of movement, maybe a little jog in between, that helps as well. So after we've done the hamstrings, quads, I want to get a little bit of the groin or the inside of that leg. So I'm going to go nice wide stance. Toes are going to stay pointed forward. We're going to do a rainbow lunge and touch. So as I come forward, I want to hinge my butt back, bend my knee, touch my toe with my opposite hand, stand up tall. Hinge my hip, touch my toe, stand up tall. Okay, so on this one, once again, we don't want to fold that chest forward or the shoulders forward, sorry. As we come forward, make sure we still stay tall, reaching down and coming side to side, okay? And once again, we can do about 5 a side of those. After that, targeting that glute, so you guys can either go into a knee hug, bringing that knee all the way up to the chest, or we can also do a cradle. So when we do our cradle, I want that opposite heel to come to our opposite hip. We're also watching our balance as we do this, and we're staying up nice and tall. I usually tell my athletes, I try to get them to grab their ankle or their shin when they're doing this one, rather than grabbing that foot, because it just adds a little bit too much torque on that knee. So we just want to be careful there, especially when we're warming up. Okay, and then after that, so we've got our cradle, got to target that upper body. I also like to do arm swings, not floppy elbows, okay, driving from the shoulders. So we're gonna go double arms here. So feet are just placed about shoulder width apart, and then I'm coming through into those arm swings, arms nice and straight. So about 5 to 10 of those, and then you can split them up and do 5 to 10 split up, okay? So once again, we don't want any floppy elbows. We want those arms to stay as straight as we can, moving through that one and just trying to drive from the shoulders. From there, we can move into even a world's greatest stretch. I also think it's extremely important. We prep that back, okay? So I'm gonna show you 2 here. So world's greatest stretch kind of adds a little bit of that, it's gonna open up those hips, but it's also gonna add a little bit of that T-spine or that thoracic spine mobility when we go through this one. So taking a step forward, I want that front heel to stay down. My knee stays over top of that ankle. Hands come on the inside. I want to open up, extending one arm all the way down to the other, and then I'll open up the opposite side. From there, I drive my right knee out to the side and straighten my leg. From there, you can just rotate right around. Same thing, so ankle and knee are aligned, and I'll open up each way, staying nice and strong there, and then my knee jets to the side, and my leg straightens. So then once again, you can go through about 5 a side of those, and then we're gonna move into our bootstraps. So another exercise really good, especially if we're prepping for squats or deadlifts. These are really good. So toes are forward, heels are gonna stay down. Doesn't matter how far your butt goes down right now, as long as those heels stay down. So you don't want your heels to pop up off the floor, because it's gonna cause you to drive your knees. That's not what we want, okay? Elbows on the inside here, toes forward, chest up, sinking your butt down, and then we're gonna come up into a hamstring stretch, straightening those legs. Coming down, elbows on the inside, chest is popped up, and then a hamstring stretch. So then from the side, you kind of see here, try to keep my back as flat as I can, and then up into that hamstring stretch. And then once again, you guys can go through about 5 of those. After that, you have a couple of different options. Okay, you want to keep moving going into your workout. Make sure you're not cooling down too much. So immediately once you're done your warm-up, you should get right into that strength. The plyos, SAQ, kind of depending on what you're going forward with your trainer or with your group. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, please don't hesitate to comment below. Take a look at your warm-up options in the slide to the left there. If you swipe to the left, there should be some options there for your warm-up. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed your warm-up session here today, and you have a fantastic day. Okay, thank you.